dude. See you later. We're on! Still see the beat.
Welcome to the second stop of the 2022 Pro Wakeboard Tour. I'm Alexa Score, joined by the one and only Parks Bonifay. We're here to bring you all the wakeboard action as well as some rider interviews for this second digital stop. And now the format of this second stop is quite a bit different than the first.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Guys get 9 tricks to bank for their mini section, and that's their entry to the event. Out of the 9 tricks, 1 has to be a double up, which I like, 1 has to be less than 5. It's very similar to the Real Wake X Games digital format. You typically have a lot better riding in a video format like this. The best tricks have always been done on video first, and I think that's what you're going to see here in the event today. And the next rider up, Tyler Higham. Tyler's one of my favorite riders to watch. He's from the West Coast. He takes a lot of pride in the way that he does his tricks. If guys are doing a 1080, he's grabbing it mute. Most guys will grab nose. He's part of the La Familia crew, a young crew that videos all the time. So with this digital video format, he definitely has the one up, you know, compared to some of the other riders. So I think Tyler's got to be a favorite of this event.
And I love his energy. You and I were just on a shoot with him, and he is perfectly fine with being the first guy in the water right after sunset. He's just excited and happy to be there, and that's why this kid's just
Yeah,
awesome.
his ambition is just so strong. Like you said, if there's a shoot in the morning, if the sun's good, he's first up. He's up there jumping, stretching, getting his board on. He's got the will and the froth to take it down right now. So Tyler's a dude.
All right, let's check out his entry. So that was insane, and we've got Tyler live in the studio. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Stoked to be here.
Absolutely. How do you feel overall about your part?
You know, yeah, I was stoked. Definitely, being able to put together 9 heavy tricks was, you got to think it through and everything. But I was obviously happy with how it came out and not bummed with what I sent in for sure.
How much strategy goes into the trick selection of 9 tricks? Because you only get 9 tricks, and I'm sure in the back of your mind, you're like, what is Corey doing? What is Nick doing? So you're trying to find your weakest link within your whole run and trying to bring the floor up. Yeah.
You know, you got to consider composition, you know, spinning both ways, make sure you're flipping, obviously, you have to, today, Moab 7s are a huge thing, so that is something I had to go out and learn to, check a box, you know, make sure you have a double flip, there is a double up involved as well, so you have to, find, what your best double up hit would be, and like you said, it is only 9 tricks, so you got to kind of figure out, what your 9 best tricks are, because, even what you think is hard to you, might not be considered hard to everybody else, and so you kind of got to pick and choose, and so that's why I'm happy with what I put together. I kind of chose the tricks I wanted to do.
What would you
and
say?
I thought technical.
What were you worried about? What was the trick that you weren't as psyched on that you thought?
It kind of could go both ways. One of my favorite hits is the Osmosis 7, but also it's a 7, so it's how technical is it as well? So I put it in there just because I thought it was cool and I know how technical it is, but I know other people may not see it that way.
Well, the Osmosis was one of my favorite tricks.
Oh yeah,
that
I
you
appreciate
did.
it.
And
yeah.
to add 2 7s, I love how you ended it, where you did it with the wrap hill 7, and then right as you're about to land, backside 180 out. That was an insane.
Yeah, that's a fun hit for sure. I was stoked to grab that a couple years ago with Ruck, and obviously I knew as soon as I saw the format, that would be my double up hit because that trick was super fun to get, and yeah.
It seems like this format really suits you. You film a lot with Trevor Maurer and out on the West Coast, and a lot of these guys probably don't film as much video content as you do. You think you had a bit of a upper hand just because how you used to filming and how many tricks you had in the bank already?
Well, yeah, being able to do X Games a couple years ago definitely helped me out because I was able to use a few of those clips. But as far as filming with Trevor and stuff, I actually wasn't able to use any of those clips because we're coming out with a video in a couple months. So I definitely have tricks in there that I would have loved to use.
Right.
But obviously
good self-control you have.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have put money and
for
effort toward it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but it was really cool to be able to put this together without using any of the tricks I'm doing for like while filming for another video part. So it's like kind of cool to have two different type of sections, I guess, put together.
Man, one of my favorite things that you do is with this type of format, you see a lot of 1260s, 1080s, Crow 7s, and guys get these tricks done, but they do the easiest grab possible just because the trick is so hard. They can't sacrifice not landing the trick for a more complicated grab. You're doing heel 10s and grabbing mute. Like you really take the initiative. Is it just being from the West Coast and that's just the way y'all do it? But you really do take the initiative and attention to details on your hardest tricks.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what I've wanted to do my whole career is just make the hard tricks look good. Like that's kind of what I've always wanted to do. Like growing up, like living with Josh Twelker, that's kind of always what he has done, and I've always like looked up to Aaron Rathie a lot as well, because he's like been a huge part of just making your hard tricks look good. And so that's just kind of the way I see it. Like I don't really see the point of adding an extra 180 if you're not going to be able to grab it as long. Like today, in today's world, like you see a lot of kids just like they're wrapping up and doing wrap tricks, but they're just doing it to add 180s. Like they're not even going for the grab, and so it's just kind of like it's to teach their own, you know, like however you want to do it. But in my opinion, like I'd way rather, yeah, that's how I'm gonna go for it for sure.
That's awesome, man. Well, there you have it, the future of wakeboarding. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Higham.
Thanks for having me.